I am getting it together. Yes, 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 yes. Hello, hello, hello. I am Keishan, your human resource. I help people see the possibilities in what they think is impossible. I am disrupting HR, disrupting leadership, and disrupting you today with the midweek Keishan's Food for Thought. And I thought about why Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is it important to share? And this is what I came up with. On Mondays, you are just trying to get your bearings. So to come right in and give you information where you're like, look, I'm just trying to get my week started. And then on Friday, everybody's like, I'm checked out. The week is over. I am good. So that's why I believe this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday live is working and I enjoy it. So I want to thank you so much for checking in, tuning in, because today there is another question. So, of course, I quit my job, wrote a book. Now what? Quit my job. Was it because of adversity? Did I quit my job because of adversity? Well, I guess the first thing to determine is what is the definition of adversity? And this is what I came up with. Adversity is defined as a hardship, a misfortune, some type of continuous, serious situation or event that it seems like it's hard to get out of. And so I guess from that regard, yeah. We all face adversity. And I talk about whether from birth until we are no longer here, there is adversity that we face. And I wrote this book. This is another book. This is a part of an anthology that I wrote. It's called You Are Called to Purpose. And in this book, I identify several adversities that I experienced from birth until just a few years ago. And what I realized is that the longer we live, the more adversity we are going to be faced with. So what does that look like? What does adversity look like? So first and foremost, my whole challenge with my health was a concern. When my doctor told me, Keishan, if you do not reduce stress, what? You're going to have a stroke. I chose not to have a stroke, so I reduced stress. First of all, I started by taking meds, then exercising. I even changed my diet. I completely cut out all types of pork at the time. And was there an improvement? Yes, there was an improvement. However, that did not keep the stress away. Not only did it not keep the stress away, it actually wasn't the cure for stress. Food doesn't, well, I guess food does stress your body. But that was not my purpose for not eating pork. I wanted to literally just get rid of all hypertension. Hypertension is stress. And certain things can cause your blood pressure to elevate or actually decrease. So what I want to share is, and I want to ask the question because we all face adversity. What types of adversity have you faced that caused you to ponder whether or not you need to stay with an organization, in a relationship, or just in general? What were some of those challenges? So what types of adversity are you facing? With this new year, I'm transparent. Adversity, right? My biggest hurdle that I will overcome is debt reduction. I have to reduce debt. Last year, as my dad would say, I oversported myself. So I did more with my credit cards than I should have. And that put me in a situation that is a hardship. Now, that's just me. I've done it before and I've climbed out again. So I know the way. I know how to get out of debt. And that's what I'm going to be doing. But what about in the workplace? You may be having adversity with an individual, with a coworker, with a leader, a director or VP or CEO. Maybe you're having that type of adversity. And those are the types of adversity where you really need to tread lightly because it could lead you out of the organization, not on your own volition. So, what are you going to do about those challenging situations when you have those, when you're at bumping heads with your supervisor or with, how do you handle that? Well, I'll tell you some of the ways that my adversity did not go over so well and some of the ways that it did. First and foremost, the way that I handled it that was not the right way is I bucked back. I'm like, oh, for real? So I bucked back. What did that get me? Nowhere. In some situations, it got me downsized, right size, exited, however you want to look at it. I do not recommend that. That type of addressing adversity is not, I don't believe, the wisest. Then there are times where I faced adversity and I did nothing about it. That's another challenge where you should do something about it. When you ignore it, it doesn't go away. Just like my stress, ignoring it did not make it go away. It just stayed there. And sometimes it lingered and it festered and made it worse. But when you face the adversity, when you address the adversity, and I've been able to successfully do that, talk about what the issue is. Remove the emotions. For some of us, it's hard. I'm guilty as charged. It is not easy to remove emotions from a situation where you're so passionate. And sometimes passion can be mistaken as aggression. I know I'm not the only one. Just putting it out there. So when you are faced with adversity with your leader, there are ways that it can be addressed where it benefits you and the organization. I guess first and foremost, you have to know more about your leader. Is your leader approachable? Can you talk to them? Because not all leaders are like that. I've experienced some. I've talked to leaders and shared ideas that were not received in front of me, but were executed behind my back. Those are, I'm not, and the thing about it is because I talk to people, I am not unique to this type of situation where I've talked to a leader, shared an idea, and it ends up coming out and everybody's celebrating the leader because they brought the information forward. And I'm so glad that I'm not the only one, because when you have somebody that you can connect to, and it's not misery loves company, it's not that type of situation, but what it is a type of situation where you are asking yourself, what did I do wrong or what can I do better? The goal is always to do better, even in the midst of adversity. So when you have those leaders that once you know about that leader, know how to talk to them and connect with them, that puts you in a better position. And, or if you have an ally, somebody who can speak on your behalf, who may have a relationship with that leader. And if you have people like that, that's good too. That's not always the case. Another thing that I've learned is sometimes you need to wait it out. You don't always have to address the issue at that time. But when you do finally address it, then you can talk about the facts, not the opinions, the facts. And if it adds value to the organization, then that's to your advantage. But you have to be able to demonstrate how it adds value. Do you bring value to the organization? And if you do, then it may be received, but only based on how you deliver the message. How many times, and we've all heard it, I'm guilty, I've done it, where I've said something, or my parents may have said something to me growing up, and it went in one ear and out the other. However, if somebody else said it, then I'm like, oh, makes perfect sense. We do it with our kids. You can tell them something, they will follow or not. And when they don't, but then somebody else comes around, this is perfect. If somebody else comes around and then your kids, they adhere. So another strategy that I've used is I've actually been in organizations and talked to people who I knew would be able to get my thoughts across without me saying it. So I used a surrogate, if you will. So I shared the information with somebody else. That person went and told the leader. These people don't even know that I did this, but I did this several times in order to make impact, because I knew that what I said added value. I just knew that it had to come through a different path, a different avenue. And I'm proud to say that I was successful in that regard. So don't address the adversity right away, especially if your emotions are involved. Let your emotions be tempered. Try to remove and extract them and share the facts. What facts are needed to actually make sure that you're able to make an impact in the organization. And then if you need a surrogate, share your ideas with somebody. Say, have you ever thought of, or I've considered this, or what do you think about that? And they eat it up. Oh my gosh. That's something that actually just came to me just in this moment, that I've successfully been able to get my point across and be heard by somebody else. Just like Moses and Aaron, and people think that Moses was the one who did all the talking. Moses was a stutterer. He wasn't even able to communicate verbally. So he had Aaron speak for him. Look it up, it's in the Bible. So you just need to find an Aaron in your organization that can speak on your behalf, speak to that person, and that person will get to the leader. So I hope that was beneficial. I wish I would have used that technique when I was younger. I did not, but nonetheless, it was effective, man. And if these people knew that I did that, they probably would say, what? Got to be strategic. So that is all that I have to share with you. Again, my name is Keishan. I am here with the midweek Keishan Food for Thought, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. I hope that you had some nuggets from this. I can't read my comments right now because I'm working on multiple platforms and multiple devices, but I will go back and read them. So again, I hope this was beneficial, and tune in tomorrow as I'll come back with another I quit my job, and whatever that may be. So until then, take care, God bless, and happy Tuesday.